Let's go to the beach each, let's go get a wave. They say what they're going to say. Grab a drink, eat, clank the Bud Light. Fuck this, we just fucking beat Dortmund by 4 goals.
Yes!
This is the pink, it's Neil Atkinson, it is Adam Smith, it's Paul Senior, Kim Gordon, Phil Blundell and Tom from Earache Records is in as well. John Gibbons is going to freestyle throughout the whole thing. Liverpool have just beat Borussia Dortmund by 4 of your goals to 3 of their goals. Fucking stitch that! Phil Blundell, how are you feeling?
Shove your drum up your arse.
Shove your fucking drum up your arse.
You brought the drum into the ground, lads. Fuck off. Go and take your fucking drum back to Germany. Shove it up your fucking arse and go and fucking pity yourselves with nothing this season, dickheads.
They might win the German Cup, Phil.
Don't give a shit.
Don't get carried away.
Are they still in it, Neil? I don't even know. I don't care. No one cares. Not in the fucking title race. Not in the Europa League. Fuck them. The Reds. Yes.
Stitch that, Paul Senior. Frankly, I'm not entirely clear how we've done it. I've got to write a review in a minute. I'm not 100% on the details or on the facts.
There's goals on them, Neil.
There's hints and allegations. Paul Senior. Frankly, Dortmund looked ridiculously impressive early in that game. They look like a hell of a football team, but they're only half a football team compared to the boys in red. Is that fair?
It's fair, yeah. I can't fucking believe what I've just seen. I've been to a lot of football matches in my life, and there's not many quite like that. I've just got off the phone to Rob, and he's good. He's good. He is good, Johnny.
How is he in himself, though, Paul?
He's good in himself.
Mate, it's 11 o'clock. He's in bed by now.
Well, he will be now. It'll have all been a bit too much for him. But no, we were saying, what game has there ever been like that at Anfield? There's been games, but what games with a comeback like that?
There hasn't been.
There hasn't been.
That beats Olympiacos for the comeback, because we had 45 minutes against Olympiacos. We had basically half the time against Olympiacos, and we'd scored with, was it about 5 minutes to go against Olympiacos? Whereas tonight, the clock was on about 90-30.
90-30.
When the love just leaps at the back post. Like
just made it happen, Phil. Just made it
like
happen.
A salmon. It was like watching a salmon jump out of a Scottish lake.
Kim Gordon, I cannot remember at Anfield in Excelsis Deo quite like that in my life. It went absolutely right off. Is that fair? Craig Hannon's joining. Go on, Kim.
Go on, Craig.
I think it's fair to say that I've never seen a match like that in my life, and I was in tears at the end, I think.
Did you have a cry?
I had a little cry.
I had a cry as well, so let's can I ask you if anyone else had a cry? Did anyone else have a cry?
A little bit, yeah.
I nearly did.
You nearly cried. Paul Senior had a little cry. Kim had a little cry. I had a little cry. Kim, talk about the cry. The cry was something special. I had a cry.
It was one of those dry cries where water doesn't actually come out of your eyes. You're just sort of like...
It sounds more like a retch now you've described it, to be honest with you.
Sounds like a problem.
I wasn't throwing up or anything, but I don't know what happened. I think that's probably part of it. The confusion, the frustration, the worry, the anxiety, the not knowing what happened.
And then suddenly Liverpool are 4-3.
And then Dejan Lovren. And someone said to me Dejan Lovren would score our winner. I would say...
When Mamadou Sakho scored the equaliser as well.
I don't even know how he scored that. I was there.
Because the marking was terrible.
I saw it with my own eyes, and I don't believe what happened. I was there in the ground.
Tom, you've got the game with Gibbo today. Let's say that's champagne opening up Prosecco from
Israel.
Craig Hannon's in. It could all get out of hand. Craig Hannon's in. It could all get out of hand. We're all trying to keep our heads. There's drinks going around. Tom, you went the game with Gibbo, but we'll come back to that in a second, because I mean, we're gonna have to retire that competition. It's not getting better than this. But very, very quickly on this, it's fair. It's a reminder, I think, that I thought Dortmund have really impressed tonight. They've done themselves an enormous amount of credit in a few senses. But it's fair to say that even though they're clearly a terrific football team, good enough to play the European Cup semi-finals, their heads go massively. Arguably before Mamadou Sakho scores, when Coutinho scores, they have this mad little conference, don't they, in the penalty area? They have this mad little conference.
That was when we needed to score 2. Yeah. It wasn't when we needed to score 1. Emre Can's gone down injured and ultimately had to come off, but still, funnily enough, he managed to hop up. There's a great picture of all the players are in the Kop, and Emre Can's basically got one boot on and his right foot's bandaged, and he's in the Kop.
Well, but it shows, doesn't it, Tom, how pressure can get to any footballer at any level, because their heads are gone.
I just had this feeling tonight that it was going to be one of those famous European nights. So as soon as we go 2-0 down, it feels like this is part of the script, and it's supposed to happen. But I don't think there's any other team in the world that could be needing 3 goals with half an hour to go and actually pull it off. other than Liverpool with that crowd behind them. It could be Real Madrid, it could be Barcelona. I don't think they'd do it.
Who the fuck are they trying to kid? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
I had no doubt throughout that game that we were going to win it. And I was saying to Gibbo throughout the game from about 20 minutes on that Lovren's going to get this.
Well, I've just seen a statistic on the internet here. This is the most different number of goal scorers Liverpool have had in a season.
Really?
By about 3 or 4, isn't it?
By 4.
When I was by 4,
we've had 22 different goal scorers this season.
This game, rather than listing all 22 different goal scorers, this game is one where.
Question that, Neil. Get on the next panel quiz.
I will do indeed. This game is something which is just. I mean, it's going to live long in the memory once I can remember it. There is this. I mean, let's try to begin to deconstruct the game. At least have a halfway house attempt at that. Dortmund were absolutely mustard first 10. They came out. They were zippy as anything. They were all over the Reds, and Liverpool couldn't live with them.
Yeah, listen, I think it's easy to sort of talk after the fact and say wrong starting 11 and all that sort of stuff. But we set up with a team that I think was supposed to graft, and they were supposed to work, and they were supposed to battle. And when you go 1-0 down after 4 minutes, that fucks you over. And that, you know, as Klopp says, the whole plan goes in the purple bin. Then, as soon as they score, all of the grafting, well, especially the second, which is after 12 minutes.
9.
Was it 9? Was it? Yeah. But then, so that's it. Any advance on 8?
7. It was before the first one.
Last call for 8. Last call for 8.
Before kick-off. But as soon as that happened, as soon as we're 2-0 down 8 minutes in, whatever the grafting was planned to do, whatever that was planned to do has gone in the bin. But it's too early to start lashing changes on, to start making substitutions.
Yeah. You can't panic, can you?
People in front of us were saying, you know, Sturridge needs to come on. You can't chuck Sturridge on 12 minutes into the game.
You can't.
You know, that's just an admission that you've just fucked up, and you can't do that. I think that's what happened. We started with this idea of grafting, working, keeping them pending, keeping it tight, and trying to hit them on the break.
They're really good, though, aren't they?
And they were fucking brilliant. They were so fast. I think I blinked and missed the goal, and we were attacking when I blinked. Like they just span it round. You know, like that. Obviously, it wasn't helpful.
Do you think, Adam, do you think that they almost put too much into the first 15-20? Because I thought that there was a point on about, after they just made it 3-1, I remember the ball went out, and I suddenly thought, I looked at them, and they suddenly had the look of a side who were a bit goosed, and I thought, I wonder if they've almost tried to front load both halves, and then they were a bit like, not sure here, boys.
I think so, because I think they came to prove themselves. I think they came to turn up and do exactly what they did.
To
they
be
came
fair
up to
to them,
say,
they fucking
and
did.
they did it, yeah. They did it, but they came to do it. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Liverpool didn't help themselves by doing what they always do and writing a book called Our Own Downfall. Stop doing that.
But we've also got another book of Get Ourselves Out of Jail, like no other club in football.
Exactly,
so
I said to him on the walk back, I don't know. I can't think of another team in world football that puts its fans through the ringers as much as Liverpool did to win stuff.
Why?
We can't just win. Why can't we just go and fucking win?
To be fair, you say this, but I remember a game when Dortmund made the Champions League final. When Klopp was manager, they basically, I think they drew the first leg in Malaga 1-1. They were 2-1 down on 90. It was injury time, and they were actually losing 2-1, and they won 3-2 and went through. So that was basically basically.
Once they've done that, Phil, we've done it 25 times.
I'm basically sat there to be dad and went, I remember this time, you know, when they were playing Malaga in the quarter-final of the Champions League. He was the manager, that fella there. I'm looking straight over the pitch, like that one there, right? And he's done this before. We're fine here. And it was great.
Yeah, Kim, it was. I mean, it's a funny game wherein it was one of those where you got to the point in the first half where you were thinking, I'll just take 2-0 at half time. I'll just take it still being alive at half time. And about 25-30, I was thinking to myself, let's just get the break, get the half, regroup and go from there. And you know, Liverpool really impress. I think starts the second half. Dortmund have a couple of flurries, but then Liverpool come alive, and it felt like the manager had said, right, this is what we've got to do to get into these.
I think, for me anyway, seeing them come out in the second half, I wasn't sure what they were going to do. I really wasn't sure what they were going to do. I just looking at them in the first half, they looked so confused. Between Between Lovren and Sacco, they looked as if they looked at each other and they thought, okay, what are we doing here? Are we centre halves? What is our role? And I couldn't quite figure out what their roles were. And at some point in the second half, Klein ended up on the right side, then on the left side. I mean, we lost our shape. We lost everything in the second half. I thought we lost everything in the second half.
Do you want to
I have no idea what we did to get it back.
On that level, do you want to hear, this is actually a genuine quote from Thomas Tuchel in the post-match press conference. I can't explain. I could explain something logical. That wasn't logical.
He's got a point.
Liverpool does.
That was the cop, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's to be fair, Thomas, it could be worse. You could manage us. Look at it that way, my friend. It is. John Gibbons has joined us. John, I think it's the most bananas game, the most bananas European game I think I've ever seen at Anfield, possibly full stop. Liverpool were. What I liked was how we embraced the madness, and then what I really liked was when it went to 3-3, the Reds sort of went, all right, we're going to have a quiet 5 here because we know we'll get a chance. It felt like we'd just gone, we'll just kill this for 5, and that suited Dortmund, and that suited us, and it was as though we'd all just gone, you know what, it's been mad, we'll just have a quiet 5 because we're going to make sure the last 8 minutes is bananas.
I totally understand what you're saying because, I mean, I went the game with Tom. I won a competition. But we were saying to each other, and by that I mean I was saying to him, you could even we could score too early. We scored too early. I didn't want us to score before half time because that makes it a same game. Yeah, because I was saying to him, we don't want to score before half time because then it gets normal, and then their manager says something normal to the players, and then they behave in a normal way.
I reckon then they've got 15 minutes of the Reds going. I think it can work both ways. They've got 15 minutes.
Phil, we won, so I'm right.
To be fair, he's got me there, hasn't he? He's got me. I've got nothing here.
What I was saying to Tom was, we don't want to score here because we're better off just doing it in Istanbul, basically. I didn't think it was going to be 3 and 6, 7 minutes, and it turned out it wasn't. But I just thought we're better off just turning this game on its head because we're not better than them, and we weren't better than them. They're a wonderful football team. They're in the top 6 in Europe, and we're probably, I don't know, somewhere around 12th, 13th. I don't know. They're guesses. But we're better off just turning this game on its head, getting the crowd on its side, and the players sort of recognise that as well. And I think, I'm sure we were trying to score half time, but I was pleased we didn't get it back to 2-1 because I thought if we get it back to 2-1, they'll change the shape and they'll hold out and we won't do nothing. I was made up, and I was saying to Tom, we'll get to 60. 2-0.
Scoring after 48 was definitely better than scoring.
No, because it wasn't because they scored a there, Phil. I mean, you're bored of being wrong, Phil.
Right. I mean, in terms of when would you have rather have it been 2-1? You'd have rather it be 2-1 because we scored on 48 than 44. I was agreeing with you.
I'm sorry, Phil.
Can we have a hug in a bit, mate?
You're my favourite people in the whole world.
Lovren's goal as well, the winner, it had to come in the last minute.
Yeah, but it's the original point that Neil made, and I'm sorry I did it in a roundabout way, but the original point that Neil made is we almost felt like we had to score on 91. The only time we were going to lead was very, very late, and so to go back to Neil's original point, I completely agree with you. And I was saying, equating it to how I felt before half time, and obviously I didn't want to go 3-1 down. I'm kidding around here because that felt like a hammer blow, that third. And Royce is just one of the best players I've ever seen him play at Anfield. He was just absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. So
he's unreal. He's practically unplayable.
How fast is he?
There was one when he went past. I can't remember who it was in the second half, and someone tried to tackle him, and it was a perfect.
Someone tried to foul him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think Milner tried to foul him first half, and he walked past him like Milner was a statue. It was absolutely incredible. Like, it was genuinely baffling how he managed to do it. I mean, what a football! I'll go to Kim on this. I've not seen an individual opposing performance at Anfield at that class for some time. I mean, I'm sort of thinking back to when Gareth Bale was in this league, to when Ronaldo was in our league. That's the class of him. He's one of the best players I've ever seen.
I'm sorry, I still want Matt's Hummels. For me, it's all about Matt's.
Matt's you can see the four tonight, Kim. He's shite.
Who's sorting their set pieces out? Yeah, he's gorgeous, says Craig, handing at the back.
No, he's a gorgeous footballer, and he's also a gorgeous defender. And I think, for me anyway, it seems like everything from last week came from him, even the goal. So he brings the ball out. I think he's the play starts with him. The play starts with Mats Hummels. And so as far as I'm concerned, if I had any children, I would offer them up in exchange for Mats Hummels.
The play starts with Mats Hummels. The play ends with Dejan Lovren.
From centre half to centre half.
Let's be properly neatly. What I love is Adam. There's been loads and loads of nonsense on the internet recently about. There was a little moment just off to one side after Liverpool have won the game, after Saka scored the third, Lovren scored the fourth, and there's the two of them arms round each other walking towards the cop. Saka was giving him a big kiss, and all this stuff around. It might be the case, it might even be true that only one of them will have a starting berth next season and all this sort of stuff. But the point about this is football teams exist week by week, and these two lads really appear to love each other, which is a big part of playing centre-half. You've got to get on with your centre-half partner, and these two, they get on with each other and they seem to love each other, and them scoring those 2 goals, let's stop trying to compare them and just say, you know what, we're on a ride with these two at least until the end of this season and maybe even into next.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, what does it matter? Because if one of them wins the made-up argument on the internet, if we all vote and do hashtag Lovren, right, and Lovren's won the game on the internet, what then happens? Because it's still going to be Sacco alongside him unless you want Skirtle back, and no one does. So it's going to be them. So let's just embrace the themness of the football, and
they're our best centre-back partnership at the minute by miles.
I've got 2 funny stories. One is that people keep coming in and we keep necking. I'm just necking people as they come through the door.
I reckon next person comes in, we all take our clothes off.
Well, I mean, then they'll probably
to be fair, you've done that on Walton Brett Road before, so it's not a big thing for you.
But the second funny story is guy called Joel, who people might know as Red Register on Twitter, and he's changed his name to LFC Joe because he's trying to be a serious football journalist. He wrote something yesterday for us about our centre-halves, and we didn't get round to putting it on our site. It was really, really good, just because basically we were moving office yesterday, and then Gareth was somewhere else today taking on a new member of staff, and so I messaged him before saying, really sorry, listen, your thing about the centre-halves is really, really good, but I'm sure it'll be fine tomorrow.
Soz, lads.
If you're listening, Joe, you might have to rewrite that. Like, half of it's really good, but the other half about them blamming in headers.
It might need to be overtaken by events, that one, Joel. That's what it might well be. This is, I don't even know where you start. I'm going to keep trying to sort of start somewhere and pull it back in. Phil Blundell, let's work out where we start from and where we move to next. Is that this side, and there's been conversations about character with this side this season. There's been conversations about all sorts, and it's easy to say they haven't got the quality of Borussia Dortmund, because they haven't got the quality of Borussia Dortmund, but
not many teams have.
But there's no one in our league who's got the character of Borussia. The quality.
If they played in England, they win the league comfortably. I said to my dad at half time, you look who's top of our league, and then you look at them.
But
it's the difference. I honestly reckon they'd have 85 points. They'd have won the league already.
But that said, you've still got to get the job done, and this is the
absolutely.
And this is the major thing.
That's the thing about football, is you can be as good a team as you want, but over 90 minutes, anything's possible. Over 38 games in a season, the disparity between teams is apparent. But over 90 minutes, any one team can beat the other, and we did tonight.
There's something in that. But do you think there's something in the fact that we played the emotions well? Because I really think we did. I honestly think we played the rhythm of the game about as well as I've seen any Liverpool side. Played the rhythm of the game. Once we've gone 2-0 down.
At 2-0 down, we were clearly thinking, it's not dead, but you can't go and chase it now. We could have chased that game, and other teams would have chased that at 2-0, and they would have let themselves wide open at the back, and we didn't. We were clearly... all I kept saying to people by me was, all you need to be is just be level on 80. All you need to do is be level on 80, level on 85. If you're level with 5 minutes to go, anything's possible. And whatever's happened in the first 85 minutes doesn't matter at all. Because it becomes basically a 5-minute game of football at Anfield. And, is there anyone over the course of 5 minutes you wouldn't fancy? Fancy us? Just go out and do them.
Kim, this is back to moments. I think Liverpool at the moment, I don't think they're very good at 90 minutes. I don't think Liverpool are brilliant at 90 minutes, but Liverpool are really good at individual minutes, and it's the idea of grabbing moments and seizing them, and I think that comes partially from the manager, but I think we've got to be careful, because you can praise a manager to the detriment of his actual players. They're the lads who've got to go and make it happen. They're the lads who've got to go and force the ball over the line. They're the lads who've got to do the business. Liverpool's lads in moments tonight, from 10 minutes onwards, they got all the moments right.
Well, like you said about it not being dead at 2-0, but there was definitely a spade in the ground.
Yeah, to be fair, when I say that, I did say to me that after 9 minutes, the ball at the back of the net, and looked at him and went, probably finished this, isn't it? So, I'm probably not being perfectly honest there.
But I don't know what Klopp has to do to get us to not concede. because I don't understand.
Play sides who aren't as good as them. We'll be number one. Playing Bournemouth at the weekend. Hopefully we won't then.
I don't give a shit. I hope we get beat. Simply.
Fuck off,
Do you know
Phil. I'm
what,
going.
right? No, yeah, but we need to avoid the Europa League through the league because we could be playing 10 Europa League
Are you
games before
serious?
Christmas.
How much fun have you had tonight
Loads,
and
mate.
and 2
I
or
want
3
to play
weeks
Champions
ago?
League football next
I want
year. 'cause
I
wanna
want
win the
Europa
fucking
League
Europa League.
every year.
Well, I want to win the Europa League this year and play in the Champions League next year, mate. Is that all right with you?
That sounds all right, but if we don't,
Great. There we go. Done.
if we don't know,
Done.
If we don't, I want all of this next year.
I hope we win one game of football this season. I hope we win the semi-final on away goals, right? And then we win the final.
2 draws, Phil.
Yeah, 2 draws, mate. 0-0 at home, and 0-0 at home in the first leg. 1 all away, second leg done, and then we win in the final. And I can stick 2 fingers up to you, Hannah.
But going back to Klopp though,
Go on, Kim. Try making a proper show.
Moving it on.
It's Kim's. The thing is, it's Kim's first show, and she's been thinking about it all the way through. And now she's got all these lads who just want to chat.
I'm just being abusive.
Frankly, go on, Kim.
come on, let's love one another. Okay.
Go on, Kim.
Going back to Klopp, what does he do to sort out our defence? That's the first thing for me, because conceding 4 at Norwich, conceding 3 here tonight, when we really didn't need to.
Well-
2 in 8 minutes, we really didn't need to concede that many. But for what it's worth, Klopp gets up and he's beating
Screaming
his
at them.
chest, and he's screaming at them, and he's screaming at the crowd.
He's having the crowds on, isn't he?
And he's
I think
pulling
that was
people up
brilliant.
by the scruff
He
of
looked
the
like he
neck.
was going to chin the whole main stand at one point.
Poor old lady in the red coat behind him, who sat behind so many different managers over the 100 years that she sat behind them. I mean,
She's 63. Yeah,
she probably is.
She never got
But-
threatened by Rafa.
Probably not. But I mean, I don't know. Between the two of them, I probably want to take Rafa. I don't think I want to take Klopp on in a
I
dark
feel
alley.
like we needed to concede a lot of goals tonight to win. I don't see how Liverpool were capable of winning that game 1-0.
Neil's going to talk about
I
tennis
just
in a
don't see how it
second.
would have happened. We needed to concede 3 to score 4. It wouldn't have happened anyway.
Oh no, I was saying that all week. I was saying to everybody, I thought we go out on away goals was what I was saying. I thought we go out on away goals 2-0, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3. Sorry, I thought we go out on. I thought that'd be the thing, and in the end we score 4 because the reality of the situation was they were always going to score goals. And here's where we can talk about how the manager set us up in the first place. But one of the ways in which he set us up is that we can finish the game with 2 strikers on the pitch. We can finish the game with movement and all that sort of stuff. And I think it's telling as well for. There's certain footballers I think who get you get told they haven't got certain quality, they haven't got quality on the ball and all this sort of stuff. I think it's telling Lallana comes off and Milner doesn't. Not least because I thought Milner in centre mid, I thought he was really, really poor. But the manager does everything to keep James Milner on the pitch. He doesn't have to keep James Milner on the pitch, and I wouldn't even necessarily agree with keeping James Milner on the pitch, but he keeps James Milner on the pitch because there's things James Milner does that he wants someone on the football field to do, and they're all unfashionable and they're all ugly and it's all unpleasant and it's all a bit help for heroes, but James Milner is doing all of these little nuts and bolts and all these bits and pieces, Kim.
I would keep Miller on the pitch as long as we take him off the corners.
No, listen.
You can't take a corner.
Right.
Listen,
One corner
Don't
does
Kim-
not make of the man.
Listen.
Take him off all the other
I
corners.
think you're being
Liverpool have
unfair.
been shit at corners
And
since
I
about
think
1962. So.
James Milner deserves commending for lulling them into a false sense of security with his shite set pieces for 90 minutes. Because that's where the winning goal came from. So
the whole plan was blam it into a yellow shirt at the corner.
Neil's talking about
Go
moments.
3-1 down, need to score
Moments from
loads of
players.
goals,
Yeah.
take terrible set pieces.
Yeah.
To be fair, we fucking executed this plan, didn't we?
Exactly.
It's a perfection, Phil.
Neil's talking about moments from players, and that is James Milner's moments throughout the entire game were to just lull them in, sucker punch.
Those
Have that. Fucking Lovren scored against you.
Hey, those
because of my
pensioners who
fucking
robbed that
free
bank
kick.
have got fuck all on us, because we fucking succeeded.
We did succeed. John, how long have we been talking for, approx?
23 minutes.
23 minutes, okay. I'm trying to think how I can go any more, but I don't think I can because...
Let's talk about Joe Allen.
Okay, Paul
Yes.
Paul Senior's in.
Lovely,
Paul Senior's
lovely
making
facial
himself comfortable.
Let's talk about...
Change the game.
Has anyone ever been a better sub for centre mids? I'm not saying like David Fairclough scores 1 billion goals, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, blah blah blah. Has anyone ever been a better sub for centre mid than Joe Allen, Paul Senior? Because he just comes on, he's full of energy, and he knows where everyone is. It's fucking mad. It's like he just sits there watching the game for the first 50 minutes, making notes in his own head, and then he says, "Right, now Now we go.
Just let him off his lead. You know, just let Joe go. And are we 3 goals down when Joe Allen comes on the pitch tonight?
We need to score 3 goals, I think.
Unbelievable. So him and Sturridge, that double substitution.
Made a double sub at 3-1.
The tactical change that came with that was just absolutely unbelievable. The way the lad keeps us in possession and keeps recycling.
Do you think it's odd he didn't start?
Sorry?
Do you think it's odd he didn't start?
I thought Firmino should have been on the bench and Joe Allen should have started. That was my thing. And you know, you look right, don't you, after 8 minutes when you're 2-0 down, you go, no, why did Joe Allen not play?
But he shows and shows and shows and shows and shows. It's unreal how he shows. He's always
on.
Space.
He's always on. And the fact that this lad probably won't play for us next year is a tragedy. I say it on every show I do now, even AFQ and whatever.
I think it almost feels to me like it's a bit like Istanbul, where you're thinking like he's got the wrong team, but how can you say he's got the wrong team because he won?
Yeah.
And it's one of those. He probably did pick the wrong team. It was. I understand why he didn't pick Sturridge, although I'd have picked him. But the Allen shout's mad. But it's mad that he's won and he's won the game. And you can talk.
And it's mad that Joe Allen's had a massive contribution to winning the game.
Exactly. So you can. It's the Didi Haman thing where you can moan about, well, we'd have been better first half if Didi Haman would have started in Istanbul, and we would have been better first half if Joe Allen would have started today. But we won the game, and the manager's in the results business, and fucking hell, we got a result. So, and also, you know, you can disagree with results all you want, and you can disagree with. Sorry, you can't disagree with results. You can disagree with performances, you can disagree with decisions, but you know, at the end of the day, that's a small part of a manager's job, and what is a massive part of the manager's job is what he does to footballers. And he's just obviously done a huge amount for these footballers in terms of their belief and their terms of winning around, because to do that 3-1 down, you know, is not
when you beat outplayed.
Yeah, it's not what you do on a Wednesday. It's not what you do on a Thursday. It's not what team you pick. It's what you've been doing for 6 months, and drilling it into them, and drilling it into the fans as well. And everything he says is very deliberate. And everything he says, his press comments, even though he says they don't matter, is very deliberate. And he's played an absolute blinder tonight, even though he's picked a team that I wouldn't have picked, and I was calling for all sorts at half time.
Do you think there's, John, just come back to you quickly, I know you're practically cuddling Paul Senior and that's what you want to do, but there is...
It's not the first lad I've next tonight.
I want to be in the middle there, you know. Me.
Won't be the last.
There is a lot to be said for the idea of what you're able to do when you decide that football matches last for 94 minutes. That was my thing, and that was where, as I said before, but I was trying to say to you before, about the idea that we decided we could almost take a breather for 5 at 80. When you know you're going to go to 84, when you know also that your teammates are going to go to 84, I think that's the big... 94, sorry. That's a big thing, that all of this Liverpool side knew they had 2 or 3 big pushes in them in the last sort of 8-9 minutes of the game, including added time. And I think that again, to talk about the manager, that comes massively from the manager, and the same with that, for instance, scoring late against Norwich is decided. And even then, I mean, I always said with Norwich, the funny thing about Norwich is Klopp had sat down and gone, fuck this, it's gone. And yet his sides had gone, no, we're not interested in that. You know, it really does feel like these lads are just going, let's just embrace every minute of this. And the atmosphere tonight was magic, and it was magic in a way that's defined by what the players did. I thought it was a real symbiosis. It wasn't just singing, it wasn't just let's just make some noise. There was a symbiosis tonight, I thought, John. Yeah,
I think the point you make is that what you're driving at, should I say, is, do we obsess with starting 11s? Football fans obsessed with starting 11s. Who's going to start? And you fancy Klopp was thinking about 14 tonight, actually. Yeah. And we obsess with, well, who's going to start for us and how are we going to set up? And he might have thought Sturridge would be great for me last 20. And there's a brilliant interview on LFC TV with Daniel Sturridge. We put it on our Facebook page, and people really enjoyed it. And people took a lot from it. But what I took from it was, he was saying, I'm a bit frustrated getting took off with 60. And he wasn't pissed off frustrated. He was smiling frustrated that he was saying, because I know defence is tired, then you get a bit more space, you get a few more goals. And so sometimes I feel like, I'm running them into the ground and blah, blah, blah. And then when 60 comes, I feel like I'm going to get a chance here. And then they take me off and I'm a bit frustrated. And he was laughing about it. He was sound. He's an easy guy to get on with, Daniel Sturridge. But I thought about that today when he come on, And I thought, you can obsess over who starts and what we do, but maybe, I'm not saying he's listening to Daniel Sturridge doing LFC TV interviews, because he's obviously not, but maybe he's thinking, do you know what, I'll just put Daniel Sturridge on when they're a bit tired here.
Do you know what, John? I sometimes do I every Monday tend to do the show with Adam Catterall, and sometimes I do it with Ryan Lowe. And we were talking about this the other week, me and Ryan Lowe. And if you don't,
he's a professional footballer.
He's a professional footballer who plays for Bury, who's had a terrific career. He's about to score 200 career goals at the in competitive football and in league football, and Lowy said to me, John, if I can keep you to kneel down for one more little bit, you're just having a stretch for a second. Lowy said to me, he said, when I was talking about Sturridge, he actually said, he plays up front, and he went, I'd rather come on last 30 than come off after 60. So he said, I'd rather be a sub who comes on last 30 and is able to exploit the fact that they're tired and can come and find the chance, and I've been watching the game and I've been paying attention, and he went, I'd rather have that last 30 than have that 60. And it sounds like you're saying Daniel Sturridge is making similar noises, and I thought you saw that tonight.
I don't think he's making similar noises. I think Sturridge would rather start, but it's how you sell it to him. And I think it's almost perfect for us in certain games. I'm not saying we do this every game, because in certain games you'd rather Sturridge did a full 90 and just battered it because certain opposition are rubbish. But in certain games, I think there's an argument for Origi to just run them to death. And I thought Origi was terrific, by the way.
It was.
First half.
His touch is ridiculous, by the way.
First half, even before he scored second half, I thought first half, him and Shan were the best players on the pitch, and I thought he was absolutely terrific. But he's also an absolute nightmare. And if you could almost have the perfect striker, you'd say against a really good team, you'd say Origi, run them rag for 60, then we'll put Daniel Sturridge on. Imagine that, Matt Hummels. I'm with Kim. Matt Hummels is a god.
Yeah, he's thinking I've seen him off, and then he's looking over and going, for fuck's sake,
exactly. I mean, that is a nightmare for if you're a Borussia Dortmund centre off, an absolute nightmare. And he's great for the winner, by the way, Daniel Sturridge. He makes that happen because he's quick thinking.
And he miscontrols. And
so, I don't think Sturridge wants it, and I don't think long term we're going to sell that to Sturridge. But I think on a game, if you're clever and if you've got good man management skills, and I've just touched Paul Senior's crotch by mistake, but we're going with it.
Talking of good man management skills,
by mistake, is that
by mistake.
If you, I know, Kim. We'll just play cool, Kim. Play cool. But I think if you're clever as a man, and you can only work for so long. But I think that's probably how he sold it to him, and Sturridge did a great job for the team. But I thought Origi's first half, unbelievable.
Adam Smith.
I've got several points. I'm going to start. I'll get through them as quick as I can.
He's got his photos and everything here.
I'm just going to start with Matt Hummels, right? Who I'm not having because his first name's Matt, which is fucking mental, right? It's like calling me Adams or you Phils. There's only one of him. Behave yourself. Secondly, the thing you were saying about, I don't know who did this from the Anfield Rap account before, but somebody said before the game, team thought more surprised by the lack of Allen than Sturridge, but feels like a 14-man game tonight. It was John Gibbons.
John Gibbons
nailed it.
So, going back to John's point.
Dear listeners, John Gibbons currently has his top round his head. Like,
I don't know about football.
lads. Hey, I've got John Gibbons' top here.
Go on, Adam. All the best.
I'm wearing it like his own skin. He's just done a dab.
Adam's got a series of points.
I see Matt from the office has just walked in.
Let's Adam make a series of points. Adam, go on. Craig first. Go on, Craig.
I see Matt just walked in. He doesn't know what's going on.
John Gibbons is topless. John Gibbons is topless.
I've got his top around my neck, by the way.
Adam Smith's trying to do proper football. Go on.
I can't.
Update, ladies and gentlemen. John Gibbons now in his boxer shorts.
Carry on.
Pull his jeans.
What were you saying, mate? I'm sure it's very important. Adam, what were you saying? Adam,
I can't see this.
Come on, Adam, people subscribe for this, Adam. People are paying good money for this.
Get on Periscope. Neil, get the Periscope on.
Listen, John Gibbons.
If you want to see what we're seeing now, Paul Senior's going to put this on Twitter.
Come on, Adam. You're my guy, Adam.
Listen, 14 man
Adam,
game.
look at me.
It's always worth taking his shirt.
Adam, just look at me. Adam, just look at me.
No, I'm not, Neil. I'm going to look right in John's eyes. 14-man game is what he said it was. Right, it's a 14-man game, and he was right. And we do obsess over starting 11s. I'm keeping this real. We do obsess over starting 11s, and the whole thing is what I was saying before was Jurgen Klopp's starting 11 was not designed to go 2-0 down within the first 10 minutes. And as soon as that does, the rest goes to fucking pot. And we could all say you should start Joe Allen, and we could all say you should start Daniel Sturridge. But the 11 he picked was the right 11 till it all went to pot. So,
second point, Adam, keep coming.
That was me third point or whatever.
Third
fourth point is, Craig Hannon's really good looking in real life. You know, it's quite intimidating, even with the naked John Gibbons.
Last thing on is Phil Blundell on atmosphere. Go on, Phil.
Right, like
Phil's
there's a whole German thing about singing for 90 minutes, and their fans sang. They sang for 90 minutes, and they just kept going. And
good lads,
great lads. Fair play to them. They just kept going. They kept going. Same song, same tone. Ultimately, it had absolutely nothing on 20,000 people going, "Go on, lads!" It had nothing. That's well better as a football atmosphere. A roar beats, fucking clap.
A chant beats a song.
Like a nursery rhyme.
A chant beats a song, and a primeval roar beats a chant.
It was a primeval roar, and there's 3,000 of them going, "Oh, la 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 la," mate. It's 3-3. You were 3-1 up 20 minutes ago, and you're going, "Oh, who gives a shit?"
Phil, would you say Dortmund are wool?
Yeah, mate. Right,
Phil. If you put under pressure, are you saying Dortmund are massive wolves?
You don't need to put me under pressure. I'll say it anyway.
Dortmund are massive wolves.
They're the biggest wool club in the world, by the way. In all seriousness, the biggest club of wolves to going.
They're shite.
I work with a lad who supports Dortmund. He's not even from Germany.
Their kit's shit. Their kit's shit. They look like wasps.
Tom and Kim are desperate to get in on the Dortmund wool issue. The Dortmund wool issue has got the room alive. I'll go Tom first and then Kim. Tom.
When it went 3-0, Dortmund fans went very, very quiet, I found, and I've never heard noise like it from the Anfield crowd. It was intense. It was like a bear pit.
Kim first, then Adam. Kim.
Firstly, just an announcement that as a Londoner, if you come
You're
to
not
Liverpool,
You're not wool.
as an East Londoner,
Still not wool.
That's where I live. Well, fine. Still not wool.
and as a Cockney, to get it straight, because not everyone from London is a Cockney.
Yeah. Great.
That's the first point.
Some of the walls.
Second point, if you come from London to visit Liverpool, you may see men in their pants.
John Gibbons, to be clear. John Gibbons, to be clear. Adam.
That primal roar, that's what it's about. That's what football's about. And I genuinely feel bad for people who don't like football, because tonight.
What do these people do? If you don't like football, what do you do?
Drugs.
I don't get it. I don't. What do they do?
Listen.
Okay. Whoa. I'm ending this now. I'm not interested anymore. You're boring me.
Sorry, mate. The Reds are fucking great.
Phil Blundell, man of the match.
Oh, fucking hell. There's 11 of them. I don't give a shit.
Kim Gordon, man of the match.
Dejan Lovren.
John Gibbons, man of the match.
Divock Avicii.
Sorry,
Paul Senior, man of the match.
14, not 11. Sorry.
Yeah. Paul Senior, man of the match.
Joe Allen.
Craig Hannon, man of the match.
Craig Hannon up the Reds.
Tom, man of the match.
Joe Allen won the game for us.
Adam Smith, man of the match.
Emre Can.
Okay. Tim Smith. The Anfield raps. Tim Smith. The Anfield raps. Tim Smith. The Anfield raps. Tim Smith is in. Sorry.
Show them the way to go. Dead tired and he wants to go to bed.
40 wings.
Right about to football team.
Just sing on your own there, Craig.
Compared to the boys in red.